Does this change things for you? That now, if this is a Russian attack using a nerve agent to actually attack a police officer becomes a different story, doesn't it?
This was already a very serious incident, and you know, we have to think first of all about the people who have been so affected, and of course you're absolutely right, the police officer is in hospital. I spoke this morning to the head of counter-terrorism, Mark Rowley, and got a full update from him, both on the policeman and on the incident itself. The key thing is at the moment is to allow the police to do their investigation. Whatever attribution takes place in the future, we have to make sure that we have all the evidence. And the key thing is to have a cool head and allow them to continue that job, which they are doing with speed and with detail and with the sort of professionalism we can expect.
Boris Johnson, without actually blaming Russia, pointed the finger at Russia in the Commons. Do you agree that this is likely to be a Russian assassination attempt?
Well, I'm determined to wait before any attribution until we have the facts. I'm completely confident that the police will be able to get that. They're down in Salisbury now, as you know. It's a huge operation. They've got all the resources they need in order to do that. We need to wait until we have all the facts, then we need to do the attribution.
Once you've got those facts, and once you know exactly what's happened, would you suggest potentially that expelling diplomats or expelling people of importance, let's say that it was Russia, we're not necessarily suggesting this right now, that would be action that you would be prepared to take?
Well, government has a range of options, you know, a wide range, including people, including sanctions, including other things it can do. But at the moment, we're not really speculating on what those are. We're making sure that we look after the incident. The Cobra met yesterday, and I'm going to be making a statement to the House later. But it's about making sure the incident is protected, the people there are protected.
How concerned are you when you're sitting in a Cobra meeting and you're sitting with the Cabinet with Russia and seemingly Russia's growing influence? We understand they had a huge influence on the American election, of course. Front page of the Daily Mail today, we're told that Russia, if they wanted to, they could cripple UK with their power and their interference. Does it come up regularly? Is it something you talk about, that interference and their power in terms of affecting our day-to-day lives?
Well, we certainly do talk about hostile activity from other countries, and Russia does come up. But I don't want to conflate two things at the moment, because the incident is separate and the work is going on that. Separately, in terms of the UK's foreign policy, we're always looking at other countries' activities.
What about freezing assets? Have we been too lax with allowing dirty money, suspect individuals into the UK?
Actually, there's been nothing lax about the steps this government has taken in order to clean out corruption in this country. We've introduced unexplained wealth orders, and we've just started doing those so that police can go ahead and take action against people who have unexplained wealth. I mean, that's a big step forward in terms of addressing corruption.
In the case of Alexander Litvinenko, of course, killed using polonium, the trace went all the way back to somebody who was then elected an MP in Russia. I mean, there are people who are saying that they can get away with murder in the UK.
There were lessons to be learnt from Litvinenko, and that was a tragic situation and a tragic death. But I think we have learnt those lessons, and the key thing is, and this is one of the things that's been learnt from that particularly nasty incident, is that we have to be absolutely meticulous about collecting the evidence, not responding to rumour but to fact, keeping a cool head until we've got that. And then we can have our plan and take action. There's nothing soft about this approach. It's about being absolutely clear about getting the evidence.
Was it nerve agent? Was it VX?
The police have confirmed that it is a nerve agent.
Who else could possibly have that apart from a government-controlled laboratory?
Well,
and how could it get into the UK?
These are all questions I will want answered, but I'm determined that we give the police the space to answer exactly those questions.
Can you guarantee the public their safety?
Of course I can guarantee the public their safety. We have been ready for a long time for the sort of incidents that we've been seeing. We had 5 terrorist attacks that got through last year. Our police behaved with unbelievable professionalism. The fact is that we have the best police and emergency services in the world.
One of those policemen, though, now is in very serious condition because he was infected by this agent.
Of course, we still need police. We still live in a world in which, unfortunately, the threat level in this country remains at severe. There are people who want to do us there's this sort of terrible damage. We have great emergency services and police services to protect us, but we are operating at a level of severe.
Right, well, that's the situation as concerns this poor police officer and these the former double agent and his daughter currently in hospital. Do you, just before we move on, do you know their condition this morning?
Well, I've spoken to Mark Rowley this morning. The two targets are still in very serious condition. The policeman is talking and is engaging, so I'm more optimistic for him, but it's too early to say. This is a nerve agent. You know, we are still treating it as very serious.
But hopeful that the policeman...
Indeed,
will make
hopeful, exactly, but it's still very serious.